Okay, good morning, everybody. As we go to the chitats of the day, we are holding on chapter 49, verse number 27. We are in the middle of the blessings where Jacob is blessing his children, 12 tribes. And we are holding in chapter 49, verse 27. Binyamin, Zev Yitra Babeka. Binyamin is a wolf. He will pray in the morning and will devour his plunder. In the evening, he'll divide his spoils. So now she says that Binyamin is a wolf. He will pray. He's a wolf, for he will pray. He, Jacob, prophesied they'll be destined to be grabbers. Shall grab for yourself each man a wife. In the episode of the concubine, which happened in Gilboa many years later, the story in the prophets, which talks about the story that happened in Shoftim, and he prophesies about Saul, that he would be victorious over his enemies all around. Saul came out, the first king of the Jewish nation came out of Benjamin. And it says, Saul took the kingdom and he waged war against Moab and against the children of Ammon and against Edom. And whenever he turned, he caused them to tremble. So here, Jacob prophesies this concept. The expression of plunder and spoil, translated in Aramaic as Ada. There's another example of this in Hebrew. Then they plundered at Shalal. So Shalal, at Shalal were divided. He, Jacob, referred to Saul, who rose in the beginning of the morning of the sunrise of Israel, the first king, and was the beginning where the Jewish people took the rights of the country back. Eretz Yisrael. Even when the sun will set for Israel through Nebuchadnezzar, who will exile the Jews into Babel, ultimately, right, of the first destruction, he, Benjamin, will divide the spoils. Over here, Jacob also prophesied the story of Mordechai. Mordechai came from the family from Binyamin. He was a grandchild of Binyamin. As it says, Beis Haman, I've given to Esther. Uncles, however, renders regarding the spoils of the priests, meaning the holy things of the temple. So here we finish the blessings of all the 12 children. Kol Eila Shifti Yisrael. These are all the 12 tribes. Shnei Masar, they were all 12. V'zayis hashadi b'lehem avim, and this is what their father said to them. Vayevarach Chaisam, and he blessed them. Ish asher b'chasei beirech Chaisam. Each man according to his blessing, he blessed him. So now she says, that's not totally true, but it's not a yesh no shleibah. We find that there was certain ones he didn't bless. Elakintran, actually, he didn't bless them. He actually he rebuked them. Elakach pirush, rather, was intended, and this was the father spoke to them. What is related to this section? One might think that he did not bless Reuven, Shimon, and Levi. Therefore, you shouldn't think that he didn't bless them. He actually did bless them. He meant it for them as a blessing. According to his blessing, with the blessing destined to befall each one of them. He blessed them. Scripture should have said, each man according to his blessing, he blessed them. Why does Scripture he blessed them? Them in plural. So Jacob bestowed upon Judah the might of a lion, and upon Benjamin the might in the power, the season of a wolf, and upon Naphtali the fleetness of a gazelle. I would think it did not include them in the blessing, in all the blessings. Therefore, the scripture ends up, Baruch Chaisam, he blessed them as one. That even though one had one thing over the other, ultimately they're one family. And it's actually, they blessed them all with the same blessing. Verse 29, and he commanded them. It said to them, I'm going to be brought back to my people. Bury me with my fathers. Elama'ora Shebisdei Ephraim, in the cave of in the field of Ephraim, Hachite the Hittite. So Rashi says, what does it mean? I'm brought back to my people, because they brought the souls into the place where they're concealed. They are called asifa, a gathering. So he meant to be, I'm going to be gathered where the souls gather in heaven. Elavoisai, to my fathers, who are souls, are gathered in heaven. But my body, in the cave of the field of Machpelah, Ashar Pnei Mamre, which is in the land of Mamre, Be'eretz Canaan, in the land of Canaan, Asher Kona Avram, which Abraham acquired, that's outside of the land, Meis Ephron Achiti, from Ephron the Hittite, Achuzas Kever, for a burial property. Shomer Krovas Avram, there they buried Abraham, as Sarah Ishtay, and Sarah's wife. Shomer Krovas Yitzchak, there they buried Yitzchak, as Rivka Ishtay. The Shomer Kavarti is Leah, and there I buried Leah. So Leah had passed away already. Mikna Sadav Amara Shabai, the purchase of the field and the cave which is in it, Me'ez B'nei Ches, from the sons of Ches. Vayochal Yaakov L'tzavis his banav, and Jacob concluded commanding his sons. Vayesav Raglav El Amita, and he drew his legs into his bed. Vayigva, and he expired. Vayesav Alam, and he was brought unto his people. Rashi Vayesav, he drew his legs. Vayigva, Vayesav. So this is the famous Gemara, Misa Leinemer Bay. It doesn't say in the verse that he died. V'amar Abisenu, and therefore the Gemara says, Yaakov Avinu Leimes, that Jacob our father did not die. So it doesn't mention death by Yaakov Avinu. It says, and he was brought into his people, expired. But it doesn't say that he died. It says by Abraham and he died. It says by Isaac and he died. It says by other great people that they died. It doesn't say Yaakov Avinu died in the top pasuk. Yaakov Avinu leimes. Yaakov is midasa shel emes. Yaakov is the attribute of truth, and Yaakov lives on. The Gemara says, "Mazar b'chaim afu b'chaim." If his children are alive, then he's alive. We continue to live Yaakov's life. Vayika Yosef apnei aviv, and Joseph fell on the face of his father. Vayef chalav, he cried. Vayishtak lei, and he blessed and kissed him. And Joseph commanded his servants and physicians to embalm his father. And the physicians embalmed. So now she said, don't think it's the embalming of today. I'm thinking, they did embalm. But it's like the embalmment where they surround you with their Aramaic spices. You're not allowed to do embalmment in Jewish law the way they embalm today. Take out the blood, God forbid, of a person. The way they embalmed in those days, they used to put a lot of perfumes and oils and etc. around the body. And 40 days were completed. These were days embalming. They used to embalm them, surround them, and soak them, and all these kinds of oils. And then the Egyptians wept for him for 70 days. So they completed the days of embalming, which was 40 days. 40 days for embalming and 30 days for weeping, because the blessing had come to them when they arrived when the famine ended. So the whole of Egypt cried that such a great man who saved them from the famine had died. The days of weeping had passed. Yosef spoke to the house of Pharaoh. If I find favor in your eyes, speak to the Pharaoh, saying, my father made me vow. I'm going to die in the grave which I dug in the land of Canaan. And there you should bury me. So please let me go up and let me bury my father. and I will return. Now she says, according to the simple meaning, it means if man digs. Kariti. Targum Jerusalem Medrash interprets it also fit language here. When I went to some cities of the sea, is called selling, kriya, bought. So it's not that I dug. So Isaac didn't dig the cave. So karita is mechira, buying it. Another Medrash interprets as a term derived from kari, it's a stack, meaning a Jated took all the silver and gold that he had brought from Lavan's house, and he made it into a stack. Here the Medrash says that he gave akariti, means I built a big mountain of gold and I gave it to Esau. So this is the word kariti. I bought it, even though it was something that belongs to me. I nevertheless bought it again. So to take the share of the cave, I sold it, physically sold it. This is the Medrash. We said this is a famous Medrash which says that Esau ultimately wanted to stop the burial of Jacob, that to go find the document of sale. Go up and bury your father, like he made a vow. Rashi says, "Were not for the oath, I would not permit you to go." Why? Pharaoh was afraid to tell Yosef to transgress the oath. However, at least he say, if so, I will transgress the oath that I swore to you, that I would not reveal that I understand the holy tongue. See, there was one thing that Joseph had over the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh was a very intellectual, is known as the genius of Egypt. And that's why everybody held him in high esteem. That he knew all the languages. Now Joseph knew one extra language, which was Hebrew. The Pharaoh didn't know. So the Pharaoh made Joseph make a vow that he wouldn't tell anybody that he knows more languages than him. So that's how Joseph used this vow. He said, "Listen, you know what? I made a vow to my father. I need to keep my vow." So the Pharaoh said, "You know what? Okay, you keep your vow, and you'll keep another vow. Don't tell anybody, and we'll keep it a secret." And that's why he gave permission. But the Pharaoh wouldn't give permission to anybody to leave Egypt. I mean, that we know, because once you were in Egypt, you weren't allowed to leave Egypt. That was one of the rules. Verse 7. And Yosef went to bury his father. And all the Pharaoh's servants went up with him, Ziknei Beisai, the elders of the house of Pharaoh. All the elders of the land of Egypt. This was a great procession that was going up to the land of Israel to bury Yaakov Avinu. And all the household of Yosef and all his family, besides the children. They didn't take the children on this journey. They went up with chariots and horsemen, and the camp was very numerous. This was a big journey. Verse 10. They came to the threshing floor of the thorn bushes, which is on the other side of the Jordan. And there they conducted a great, impressive eulogy. And they made over there in Gerden, they made another 7 days of mourning. So Rashi says the threshing floor of a thorn bush, it was surrounded by thorn bushes. Our rabbis have interpreted, you call the threshing floor of the thorn bush to commemorate the event when all the people of Canaan and the princes of Yishmael came to fight a war. When they saw Joseph's crown hanging on the coffin, Jacob's coffin, they all stood up and hung their crowns on it, surrounding it with crowns, like a threshing floor surrounded by the fence of thorns. So that's the meaning of the pasuk. As the procession came into Israel, there was a great war going on. Unusual, a great war. Many kings were fighting. The country of Israel had many kings at that time. And 31 nations over there were, and they were fighting with each other. And when they came through the land, they all stopped to fight. And they stopped to give respect to Yaakov Avinu. When the Canaanites inhabitants of the land saw it's able to get an altar, they saw the mourning, the threshing floor, and the thorn bush. They said, "This is an intense mourning for Egypt." Therefore, it's called the Egyptian. What they call the city where that was, or the plains where that was, Avel of Mitzrayim. The Egyptian mourning, which is the other side of the Jordan. Yasu born of Cain and his sons did to him just as he had commanded. What did he command them? Yisu born of Canaan, and the sons carried into the land of Canaan. They buried him in the cave of the Machpelah. Ashakana Avram is Hasada, which Avram bought the land, Lachuzas Kever, for a burial plot. Meis Ephron Achite Abnei Mamre. So that said, what means his sons? Because he went up with his grandsons too, but not his grandsons, for he had commanded them, neither shall any Egyptian carry my coffin, nor any your sons, if they are born the daughters of Canaan, but you alone. He designated a position for them by his coffin. So the three of them would carry on the east. And so all four directions, he divided the sons into 3 and 3 and 3. And this is exactly, we're going to know later on exactly how they were divided. Because this is exactly how Moshe Rabbeinu divided the tribes in the way they journeyed through the desert. This is similar to the arrangement of traveling into the desert, the grouping of tribes as they were designated here. So as they were designated here, with Yehuda and Ruvain and Dan, they all had 3 groups per tribe. So that's how they carried the coffin. 3 to the right, 3 to the left, 3 in front, and 3 in back. And that's the way they traveled. Moshe Rabbeinu and the Jewish people traveled in the desert with the ark in the middle, the Mishkan in the middle, and 3 tribes in front, 3 tribes to the right, 3 tribes to the left, north, south, and east and west. That's the way they traveled. And this is similar to the arrangement done in the camp in the desert, grouping the tribe designated here. He also ordered, Levi shall not carry it, because he's destined to carry the ark. So Joseph shall not carry it because he's a king. Menashe and Ephraim shall carry instead of them. This is the meaning, each one according to his group of signs, according to the signs that their father gave them to carry the coffin. So later on, we have also Levi was in the middle of the camp, the tribe of Levi. Yosef Yosef Mitzrayim, Hu ve'echav. Yosef came back to Egypt. Him and all his brothers, they all came back to Egypt. Look for something. After they buried his father. So here, when they returned, the scripture places his brothers before the Egyptians, who had gone up with them. When they left, they placed the Egyptians for the brothers. And it says that all the Pharaoh's servants went up with them. And afterwards, and Joseph and Tyre also and his brothers, because the Egyptians saw the honor the kings of Canaan had bestowed on them, they hung their crowns on Jacob's coffin. So suddenly they respected Joseph and his brothers. It took them all this time to realize the greatness of Joseph and his brothers. But when they came back to Egypt, suddenly, verse 15, and now the Joseph brothers saw that his father had died. And they said, maybe Yosef will hate us and return to us all the evil that he had done to him. The brothers got frightened. So Rashi says, what suddenly did they get frightened? What did they mean they saw? Saw what? So they recognized that Yosef, they recognized Jacob's destiny. They saw Yosef was different. Where they were accustomed to dine with Joseph, they were accustomed to celebrate together. He was friendly towards them and respected his father. But as soon as Jacob died, seemingly he became a different person. So they felt maybe he was only nice to them as long as his father was alive, but now the father is dead. And now the father, Yaakov's not here. So Yosef might take revenge. Perhaps Joseph will hate us. Rashi over here is a grammar Rashi, and it's only Lou's to make a different lu. The word lu, Rashi is trying to say lu is an expression. Lu has many different meanings. Lu is used in expression request donates if only. So Rashi brings down all the places. Lu Yistimneni fits the word if only will. Lu Yistimneni if that maybe Joseph hates us. So they sent a message to Joseph. Our father commanded before his death, saying, like they commanded the message to go to Joseph, and he commanded them and his children of Israel. That is, he commanded Moses and Aaron the message to the children of Israel. In this case, too, the brothers commanded their messenger to be a messenger to Joseph and say to him, whom did they command? So Bilhah's sons were frequent with him. They said to him, there was a lad and he was with the sons of Bilhah. So they sent the brothers who they thought would be nice. So the brothers of Leah sent the brothers of Bilhah. So over here they lied a little bit. They said a little bit of a lie. They altered the facts. They didn't say exactly the truth for the sake of peace. Because Jacob never commanded anything. Since Jacob never suspected his son Yosef. So they changed a little bit the story that Jacob had mentioned this concept. But Jacob never ever said anything. But here we see, for the sake of peace, he can bend the thing a little bit. This is what Jacob said. Say to Yosef, "Oh no, son of please forgive now your brother's transgressions. The transgressions, their sins, for they did evil to you. Now please forgive the transgressions of your servant of the God of your father." Yosef bedavme, and when Yosef heard these words, he started to cry. That his brother suspected him of hating him, that keeping your hate and waiting for the father to die. So this, please forgive the transgression of your servant of God of your father. Although your father is dead, passed away, his God is alive, and they are his servants. So therefore, even though the father has passed away, please forgive us. And then suddenly the brothers came, and they bowed down for him. They said, "We'll be your servants." So this is in addition to sending a messenger. After the messenger sent the message, they came all in and they bowed themselves to him. But he was crying. Yosef said to them, "Altira, what are you kidding me? Don't be afraid, for I am instead of God. Am I perhaps in his place?" That's like a question. If I wanted to harm you, would it be able? Did you not plan evil against me? The Holy One, blessed be, ever designed it for good. So how can I also harm you? God runs the world. And God did everything. You did nothing. Atem chashaftum l'ra. You might have intended evil. Elakim chash v'latayva. But the Eibishter runs the world. And God wanted it for good. So that we won't be here today. To keep a great populace alive. So chas v'shalom, you should doubt me. that I would do something against you. And that's what Yosef was a very emotional guy. And he cried that the brothers should think for a second that he would do something negative against them. And ultimately, the brothers, Yosef kept the family together for many more years, because Yosef died at 110 years old. So at this time, he was 37, 47, 54, 55 years old. And he lived for another 55 years. Died at the end of this week's Parsha. He was 110 years old. And we know that nothing happened in Egypt until all the brothers died. And he was one of the ones who lasted, who lived. Besides Levi, I think Levi died a little older than that. But ultimately, the Jews continued to prosper in Egypt for many, many years, all because of Yosef, because he continued to sustain them. Didn't have to do anything in Egypt because he sustained the Jewish nation. They became a very populous people in the land of Goshen. This completes the Chumash of the day, my friend. Tomorrow, make sure you finish the Chumash, entire Parsha, Parshas Vayechi, which ends off Chazak, V'nitz Chazek, and we finish off the book of Vayechi and the book of Bereshis, and we go into the book of Shemais in Mitzvah next week. Now let's go to the Tanya of the day. We continue today in the chapter 9 of Tanya. And the Alter Rebbe again, this is a very important concept of Chassidus, and especially in Tanya, the concept of the two soul system, the godly soul and the animalistic soul. Two soul system. And the Alter Rebbe explained that each and every one of these souls have all the capacities, Chachma, Bina, Das, all the 10 capacities. And therefore the Torah says, when God told Rebekah, you're going to have two nations in your stomach, two entities, Yaakov and Esav, and they are going to struggle with one another. The godly soul and the animalistic soul are going to struggle with one another. And what's going to happen? Achine Ksiv, this going back to that story. The prophet tells Rebekah, one nation shall prevail over another nation. So here the prophet told her that there's not going to be capability of having peace between these two nations. One needs to rule. The expression, Ein shtei malachim mishtamshu bekeser echad. You can't have two kings with one crown. You can only have one king with a crown at a time. So therefore, you're going to have either the Yaakov is going to be victorious and he'll be the leader, or Esav will be the leader. So too, you have two entities in your body, in your psyche. You have a nefesh elokis, you have a godly soul that wants to lead the body. And then you have an animalistic soul that he wants to lead the body. He doesn't want to per se get rid of the other one. He just wants to be the king. The body is a small city. Everybody needs to at least look at their body like a small city. And now you have two kings that are fighting over this small city. Imagine your body's a city. And now there's two kings, two leaders who want to be the leader of the city. Each one of them wants to conquer the city. He wants to be the leader. He doesn't want to share the leadership with somebody else. He wants to be the leader of the city. And to rule over it. So to say the king wants to direct the inhabitants, according to his will. So they'll obey this king, King A, whatever he commands them. So to these souls that I have in my body. I got two important entities in my body. Alekis aruchnius, I have my godly soul, my spiritual side of me, and Bahamis, I have my animalistic side of me. These are two powerful entities. Nechamezu and Zu. These two entities are in a constant battle. What are they in battle over? Alaguf. They are in battle over the body. Because both of them are spiritual in essence. So both of them want rulership over me. And important, what means over me? Over my existence. Each and every one of us, my godly soul wants, my godly soul wants that the body should be godly, should do godly things, should do spiritual things, should connect himself to a purpose. That's my godly soul. My godly soul says, I don't want the body to become unbody. I want it to become godly and be. No, I want the body should stay a body, but it should be a purposeful life. Why can't you have a purposeful life? Everything should have meaning. Everything should have a purpose. Everything should have a destiny. Every thought should be with a reason. Every word should be with a purpose. Every action should be with a reason. Selfless is a godly soul, a godly reason. And all the organs, not only my thought, my mouth, every part of my body should be for a godly purpose. Have meaning. I walk for a reason. I talk for a reason. I eat for a reason. I sleep for a reason. Everything, imagine life, everything had a purpose. That's it. And all the limbs of the body will be totally nullified to the soul, the godly soul. It should be like a chariot to my godly soul. So my car goes where I want it to go. The godly soul wants that the body should be like the car and go where he wants to go. And selfless to the godly soul wants to go to places of godliness, places of purpose, places of goodness. It doesn't want to go to selfless and bad places. And it surely doesn't want to go to empty places, nothingness, wastefulness. And he wants more than that. He wants that the organs should be the garments to the three garments I mentioned before. The Alter Rebbe said, thought, speech, and action. So he wants, the godly soul wants that all thought should be the garments to him. All speech should be garments to him. All bodily actions should be garments to him. That's what your godly soul wants. He wants to be the king. He feels he should be the dominant force in the body. Via guf kulim malakamem, an entire body should be permeated with them alone. And no outside influence should come into the body, protecting the body. He wants the body should be spiritual. Sure, there'll be challenges, but it should be outside. It shouldn't come into the body. Chas v'shalom. He doesn't want the body to be influenced by anything but its godly purpose. Which the Alter Rebbe said, I mean simply that the three concepts of your mind, Chachma, Bina, Das, your wisdom, my understanding, and my knowledge should be godly. Be godly. Every thought, every intellect should be godly. Oh, there's going to come, other things are going to try to come into my mind. Push it away because I want my mind to be pure. Imagine having a pure mind. Which discerning of God and his understanding, meaning applying the faculty of Chachma and Bina to understanding of godliness. What would God want? And that's by contemplating and pondering on his unfathomable and infinite greatness. What would the Eibishter want? And why do I want that? Why do I want to contemplate on godliness? So I can create, through applying this meditation of a faculty of das, knowledge as well. I'm going to, through the immersing oneself in the subject of godliness greatness, the depths typical to das. So one not only understands the greatness, but actually feels. That's the most important thing, das. I feel it. So the godly soul understands that if he's not going to get me, not only to think about godliness, believe in God, but I should feel it. I'm never going to have Avas Hashem. I'm never going to go to the next level of having love of God and emotion. So your godly soul needs your godly soul needs, not that you should only believe in him, believe in God, not only you should talk about God, not only should you thus understand God, you should feel God. And if he doesn't got that, he's got a problem. And therefore your godly soul wants that you should have understanding of God, wisdom of God, understand God, and have some feeling. Create some feeling to God. And then you'll be able to give birth to awe of God. And that's what your godly soul wants. Because he knows, your godly soul knows if he doesn't capture that, then he's gonna lose. Right? Your nefesh of Bahamis, my nefesh of Bahamis, my animalistic soul has a better, because I feel the world. And that's why I fear things in the world. I'm more fearful of the world than fearful of God, because I feel the world. So your godly soul has a lot of work. His battle is much more tougher than my animalistic soul's battle. My animalistic soul has actually heads. He has a head's way in front, because we know that the first 13 years, my animalistic soul is more in my body till my bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah. So he's ahead of the game. Now my godly soul has to start working on my being to bring in a new entity and a godly entity in my existence. So I've lived for 13 years or 12 years if I'm a girl. I've lived for 12, 13 years in an animalistic cocoon, a selfish kind of a cocoon. And suddenly now my godly soul comes in and says, wait a second. We got to change. We got to become more godly. And that's why the verse says, Chanech, so important, Jewish education. Chanech lanar, teach your children. Because when they come by mitzvah, that's when the battle starts. And we need to try to create a fair battle. If you're not going to teach my children, I'm not going to give them the capability, the tools to fight this battle, it's going to be a very unfair battle. Because now the godly soul not only has to just learn, the godly soul has to learn how to feel. Again, so the animalistic soul already feels. He enjoys life, he enjoys food, he enjoys, not talking about sinning, talking about the world. He enjoys life, he enjoys food, he enjoys sleep, he enjoys these bodily functions. He feels it. Now we have to feel godliness. Now, not only understand godliness, but feel God, because we need to create a love and fear of God. Just like we have a love and fear of the world, we need to create a love and fear of God. And that takes a lot of work. That's the whole time. How do we create this love and fear of God that we have for the world? Because we have two systems. We have a godly system and we have an animalistic system. So we have this animalistic system which has a natural love and fear of the world. We love certain things and we don't like certain things. We don't need certain things. Right? So we have a love to pleasure, and things that hurt us, we run away from. Nobody puts his hand in fire because it's going to hurt him. We haven't, we hate, we know that, we feel it. Now we have to create a love and fear of God. Now we have to feel it. That means when we learn Torah, it has to make, it's geschmack. I feel good. Feels good. It feels good to do a mitzvah. Not only am I doing a mitzvah because I'm commanded to do a mitzvah. I'm doing a mitzvah because it also feels good. That's Chochmah Bina Das. That I feel it. I feel the goodness of the spirit of the spirituality. And we can accomplish that if we wanted to. Hashem. So I create a love of God. Like a burning fire. Shall have us. We need to create that fierce flame. Right? Just like I have when I want to do something pleasurable, I plan it, I book it, I go to it, I run to it. Because it feels good. And I enjoy good. And you should enjoy good. We should run to a mitzvah. We should plan it. Get ready for it. Zekeli Manveyo, and it says the expression, make it beautiful. Right? We should live beautiful lives begashmis. We should live beautiful lives beruchnis. So you just like you should also have a thirst, a desire, and a longing to cleave to the blessed things. You should have a desire and a yearning to cleave to God. Because you have the capacity. You have a godly soul. Your godly soul cleaves to God. But it needs to teach the body. It needs to learn the body to cleave to God. And that's the avodah. That's what my godly soul wants to accomplish. To be able to come into the body and through its wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, that the body should want to also cleave to God. From the depths of his heart, that's from his right ventricle, which is the seat of your godly soul. And your godly soul, just like your animalistic soul has ava, just like my animalistic soul has love and fear, my godly soul has love and fear too. I need to awaken up that love and fear of my godly soul. This kind of love that the divine soul desires entails the heart be inlaid with love from within. And furthermore, not only would that the love, as it were, on the surface of the heart, but the heart would also be full with the love occupying its entire space, as it were. And furthermore, it would indeed fill to overflowing. This might sound, the Alter Rebbe says, well, this might sound unbelievable, but it's capable, it's possible. That's the first thing you need to know. This is one of the teachings of Chassidus. It's that all these things that are mentioned in Tanya and Kabbalah, it's all possible. It's not a fantasy. It's not a hope. It's not a wish. You have it. I'm not telling you something to go get. I'm telling you something that you have. We have. We don't have to go get it anywhere because each and every one of us has a godly soul. So if you have a godly soul, you have a love of God. I have a deep love of the Eibishter because of my godly soul. The problem is that my body doesn't feel that. And I need to train my body. I need to learn to waken up the body because that's the most important thing. That's why the Torah says you don't run away from the body. You don't abuse the body because that's not going to uplift the body. Because it will never come to Avos Hashem. Your body will never come to Avos Hashem if you're going to run away from the body or you're going to deny the body its true existence, which is the love of the Eibishter. Just like the body loves physicality, my body, in truth, loves the Eibishter, loves God. And what's going to happen if I can awaken up my truth, who I really love, and who I should really have awe of, which is God? If I can do that, then it's going to affect my animalistic soul. And that's really the whole purpose. The whole purpose is not maybe to get rid of your animalistic soul, because as Alter Rebbe says, that's a tzaddik, and maybe I'll never ever become a tzaddik. So I will always have an animalistic soul. But you know what's going to happen slowly? I'm going to explain my animalistic soul that just like it has joy for physicality, it can have joy for spirituality too. And I can physically enjoy being a Jew. Not I can spiritually enjoy being a Jew and physically enjoy the world, which is that's the way most of us do. We have like a dual system, you know, we're holy in the synagogue, we're humans in the outside. No, I can go hand in hand. We actually can be one. And I can enjoy godliness. Physically, I can enjoy it. This is important, that the love will thus inundate the left part of the heart, as well to crush the sitracha, will get away evil. Because enjoying the world is not a sin, it actually is a mitzvah. There's no mitzvah to have an unhappy life. There's no mitzvah not to enjoy the world. The mitzvah is to enjoy it with a purpose, with a godly purpose. And that's the beauty, actually, we're coming to the day of Shabbos. That's the beauty of Shabbos. The beauty of Shabbos is tainug, is delight. Shabbos tells you you can have delight, and it can be for the sake of Shabbos. So the beauty of Shabbos, I have the best food and the best clothes and the best of everything. And it's all not for just the regular night. It's for the Shabbos. It's for the day of Shabbos. So I'm having a great delight, the best of everything, in the most comfortable way that can be. And it's all for the sake of Shabbos. How do you do that every day? And that's where that's where the struggle comes, where our mind suddenly thinks, oh, it's Sunday, it's not Shabbos anymore. It's Monday, it's not Shabbos anymore. If you could do it on Shabbos, you can do it on Sunday. You can do it on Monday. Every day. That's why the Hebrew calendar, there's no such thing as Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There's what in davening, every day we say, like today I say, Yom Shishi L'B'Shabbos. Today is the sixth day to Shabbos. On Sunday, we say today is the first day to Shabbos. There's no Sunday, Monday. Today is the first day to Shabbos. It's all trying to connect every day to Shabbos. Because just like on Shabbos, I've shown that I can live a worldly life. I can have the best of everything but Gashmis. For the sake of Shabbos, I can do it every day too. And that's what we need to accomplish. We need to accomplish that every day becomes like a day of Shabbos. And that's the transformation of your animalistic soul. That's the ultimate transformation. And it's not that the animalistic soul is going to disappear, but it's going to actually start to feel that we can have a good life and do it spiritually. We can have a good life. We can live. We can enjoy and be godly. And there's no contradiction. It actually works perfectly. And that's when you have iskafia and ishapcha. Iskafia means the subjugation of evil. Ishapcha means the transformation. Which is the lust emanating from klippa, because it's klippas noiga, it's kosher food. It is enjoyment that is not an aveda. L'shanoisa, I'm not trying to get rid of the enjoyment. I'm just trying to transform it. I'm giving it purpose. I'm giving it godliness. That's all I'm doing. I am not going away from it. I'm developing it. I'm not running away from the physical world. I'm elevating it. I'm uplifting it. So instead of just enjoying, just for the sake of the world, la'avas Hashem, to the love of God, God never wanted a person not to enjoy the world. He wouldn't create a beautiful world that we shouldn't enjoy it. Actually, Gemara says the first thing a person comes at 120 years, they ask him, did you enjoy the world? This is a beautiful world, and we should enjoy it. We should enjoy it for the sake of God. As we say in the Shema, you should serve God with both the Chalavavchas plural. Serve God with both of your inclinations. Love God with both of your inclinations, with your godly inclination and your animalistic inclination. For that reason, as we travel through the Torah, we come to Karbanis, the very important part of the Torah, the third book of the Torah, the book of Vayikra, Leviticus, which is about Karbanis, the animal, elevating the animal. It's all about elevating the animal within us, whether the animal is an ox or a sheep or a goat. Elevating the animal within us. We're not trying to get rid of the animal. That's a tzaddik. A tzaddik gets rid of his nefesh habahamis. We may never get rid of our nefesh habahamis, and that's not our job. Our job is to bring godliness in the nefesh habahamis. Our job is to teach our nefesh habahamis, my animalistic soul, that he can enjoy everything in a pure way. He can enjoy everything in a godly way. Thus, transformation of the animal soul's lust to love of God. Imagine if you add up, and really that is the whole, because really that is the way, because I have a love in my heart. Imagine if I turn, that's like the Gemara says, Chassidus emphasis accentuates it, that Rav Koyav B'Tfu Asher, the power of the ox. My animalistic soul is like an ox. The power of the ox. Jacob says Joseph is like an ox. He had the power of the ox. Joseph showed that even though he's the king of Egypt, he had everything, he was still a tzaddik. Even his brothers today couldn't imagine that Joseph, and Joseph, are you kidding me? I love God. I might be Joseph, I might be this big knacker, but everything God runs the world. That's the beauty of Joseph. That's the beauty of our Avodah too. That we take the ox and we harness it. We take the ox and we use the power of the ox. And that's the power of our nefesh habahamis. It's a great power. Power of love and the power of lust and the power of desire and the power of accomplishment. All this is the ox, the animalistic ox within us, and we elevate it. We use it out for good. And that's the beauty of your nefesh elikis, elevating my nefesh habahamis, my godly soul through my chokhmah, bina, and das, which again I need to come to feel it. I elevate my animalistic soul to the level of avad abad, abundant of love, a love surpassing in the level of powerful love, like a furious flashes, as mentioned earlier. And that's really the power of my nefesh habahamis, to be able to have a burning fire, because I receive my burning fire from my animalistic soul, and when my godly soul teaches my animalistic soul to take that love and that power, to use it out for God, whoa, then I become unstoppable. Okay, my friend, that ends the Tanya of the day. Today is the 13th day of the month, and the Tillim of the day is chapter 69, 70, 71. So 69, 70, and 71, and you would have done the chitas of the day. Tomorrow is Shabbos. I hope you first of all do the chitas of the day. You finish the chumash for Parshat Vayechi. Hopefully we'll see you in shul and you'll say chazak, chazak, v'nis chazek. We end the story of the patriarchs and the matriarchs in creation, and we go into the book of Shemais, the book of Exodus, the book of names, which is the story of Am Yisrael and the creation of Am Yisrael as a nation and the redemption of the Jewish nation, the giving of the Torah. What an unbelievable book, the book of Shemais. And we will continue with the Mitzvah next week, Sunday at 8 o'clock. We'll continue to learn the Chitas Avedei. I wish you all a good Shabbos, a wonderful Shabbos, a happy Shabbos, and a healthy Shabbos.